Welcome back to more Pokemon Light 2. So last time, we checked out the clay tunnel, and we found these very mysterious looking ruins. So, let's inside. So you want to check these statues, sir? If you can. Let's get the rappel back on. Is another dust cloud. And what we're gonna find? There's an next scroll, so yeah, I'll go ahead and catch that. The quick ball, hopefully. So yeah, quick ball. Yeah, let's go for that. Like I said, yeah, we want an extra for a trade, so yeah, why not? Let's do it like this. That didn't work though, so yeah. And of course there's earthquakes, so yeah, how are we gonna weaken this? Probably want to use Serena for this, or hit run away by accident. That also works. But yeah, too bad cripple doesn't work well like that. So yeah, I think there is at least a chance that'll work. So yeah, they had only Braviary, but I don't think Vitro is gonna help too much here. So yeah, chain out the one that chooses the sun and protecting this place. You see. So I'm going to keep heading up then. Another dust cloud. This time with a flying gem, that's really nice. And you got more statues. Protectors were born out of rock, ice, and magma. Well, it's split into 2, day and night, black and white. Two answers need to find the true path. Courageous one. Let me tell you the answer I know. Check the ground 6 steps down and something steps right of the eyeball. The answer can only be found when the moon is in the sky. So we need it at nighttime as well, apparently. Which is a bit annoying because, yeah, I have some stuff to do, so yeah. So I think it was 8 steps, so yeah, here's the eyeball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then yeah, clicking like this. I think I was a bit off. It's around here, I know. But yeah, maybe it's down here. That's a little bit. Let me double check the number again. Because yeah, my memory's bad. Yeah, basically. So let's go on the bike. Another dust cloud. This time with a fine jump. So let's go double check that again. I hope that it doesn't mean it has to be like nighttime or something like that, but anyway. 6 steps down. Ah, I see. So I don't know how many steps right it is. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. I think we can still make it work. So yeah, we go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just keep pressing her. That didn't work, unfortunately. So yeah. Oh, there it is. Now let's switch save these stuff on it. I'm gonna say if it's nighttime, then you see the other clue, and then you can piece them together. A loud, heavy sound echoed on the other side of the door. Looks like we've activated it. I haven't done this in a long time, by the way, so yeah, my memory isn't the best, that's the thing, sure. Rock Peak Chamber. So yeah, we've unlocked something new. And here's our reward. Also, will we catch an extra first? Well, yeah, let's find out. I could also Mega Horn or Ice Beam it. That's probably what I should be doing, so yeah. So once again, let's try the Quick Ball. Good thing is, it is in a cave, so I can use Dust Balls against what we're up against, so yeah. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. Quick ball was good enough. So we got ourselves a second extra. Like I said, for a trade later. And yeah, we got this. So yeah, we want John Tracy once again in the lead. And of course, you want to save your game. So yeah, let's do that as well. Alright, let's yeah, do this. Logan actually exceeds the power of Rock Star moving. This is Regirock, level 65 Rock-type Pokemon, clear body for its ability. With the moves, Zap Cannon, Lock On, Charge Beam, and Iron Defense. That's good for us, that moveset. So yeah, so we're gonna go for the Thunderwave here. And yeah, Regirock as a Pokemon, it's all focused on defense. Having 200 defense alongside decent 80 HP. So yeah, it can take physical hits decently well. It's just that the rock type isn't like the best for doing that with. I'm gonna try a Volt Switch. The rock type isn't the best to do that with. It does have some pretty common weaknesses, not the best, especially for a physical wall. That's pretty good. Let's go for Serena here. Because again, it's like, you know, you got the flying weakness and the ground weakness that you have to contend with, so yeah. So that's not the best. We'll try a Rock Sucker. There we go, red health. So yeah, this should be good enough for Dust Balls. So yeah, again, that's not the best, and you also only got 50 C as well. Yeah, those stats aren't too bad though. Like 100 attack and special defense, and then 60 special attack. And that will start. So yeah, again, it's definitely an interesting Pokemon. Again, stat-wise, again, that defense is pretty good. It's just that kind of wish I had a better type for it, I guess you could say. One that had a bit more, you know, better resistance. Of course, you know, special moves as well, they're not the best for either, obviously. You could see also getting washed away by like a surf or something like that, so you need to be careful with that too. So, as for moves, its other moves are okay. Like, yeah, it gets Curse, which is pretty decent for it. Even gets Iron Defense, like we mentioned as well. Superpowers, interesting as well. And then Stone Edge Driller, but just got the TM for it, so yeah. And then for TMs, I mean, one of the interesting things, it gets Sunny Day. It's actually not a bad seller of it, so yeah. It also gets Earthquake as well, so that's obviously very good type coverage. You use a Rock Slide instead of you use a Rock Slide instead of Stone Edge if you want. It gets Thunderwave as well. And you could use a Rock Polish, but I think you want to sub the Curse instead. So yeah, that's what I would do. So yeah. So yeah, 1. That's okay. That's probably need to be weakened a bit more, but yeah, our team's pretty strong, so I'm not going to risk that. Let's give it another Dust Ball. The Mewtwo moves are pretty interesting for it. Like, it gets Drain Punch now. I think that's a pretty fun choice. And yeah, you could use Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Gravity, so yeah, it's got a lot of weird but kind of cool moves on its side. And of course, you can never go wrong with Stealth Rock. It's not a bad set of it on that physical attackers, so yeah. So yeah, that's something else you could do. And yeah, we just swapped out the stats. So yeah, again, Regirock, yeah, you could use in the battle facilities too. It's not like that, that's so cool for that, but hey, if you want something a little bit more unique, I guess you could go for it. Again, that you like Drain Punch alongside Curse sounds like a lot of fun, to be honest. Too bad again, Explosion also got nerfed, which was one of its best tools before, so yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Anyway, we actually have a legendary Pokemon that's putting up a fight now, so it's time to talk about some topics. So we'll start with the Pokemon related ones. So yeah, shiny hunting is our first topic. So yeah, I actually did do some shiny hunting in the past, if you didn't already know that. I think I probably mentioned it before. So basically what happened was, it was around, you know, Gen 6, Gen 7 time. Okay, yeah, of course. Of course with catch. And it didn't take too long. As soon as I start talking about the topic, they really like doing that to me, don't they? Its entire body is made of rock. If any part chips off in battle, it attaches rocks to repair itself. Alright, since that didn't take too long, despite my fumbling around trying to figure out the puzzle. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be Reggie's not doing that. I guess. So anyway, we got, though, the iceberg chamber. You want the key for it. So now can be accepted in mystery door. They can be sent and receive infrared communications to unlock each other's locked settings and map potions. Alright. So that's awesome. So yeah, now we have actually another legendary Pokemon to take on, but first we need to obviously change our key settings. So yeah, let's leave, save the game, and yeah, let's do just that. So yeah. Well, I've already get hurt, so I don't know why we need to leave, so yeah, I'm just gonna save the game, and yeah, let's do that. So yeah, time to another link. You go to key system, key system settings, mystery door. Now we can do iceberg chamber. There we go. And yeah, the keys are obviously how I was able to get to challenge mode, so yeah. And yeah, sick off that, yeah, we might be taking advantage of that, so yeah. So yeah, so now yeah, key system settings, iceberg chamber. So yeah, let's continue now. And let's go back in. So that's the machine on, just in case. Now the eye is blue, so that should give us an idea of what we're up against. We are now in the iceberg chamber, so let's head on up. Here's who's waiting for us. So yeah, you got Sean Tracy in the lead once again. I mean, I didn't heal at all, but hey. So let's take the game. There you go. Let's put back on this machine, and let's go. Vocal essentially exceeds the power of ice, started moving. Regice is Ice type, level 65, clear body for its ability, with the moves Zap Cannon, Lock On, Charging, and Amnesia. So, Regice is a very strange Pokemon. Yeah, of course it's got the Ice type, which is not a very good defensive type, and it is supposed to be a defensive Pokemon with 200 special defense. As you probably expect, yeah, 80 HP, 100 defense, 50 speed, 50 attack, and 100 special attack. Yeah, it's very similar to Regirock, as you probably expect. So yeah, in terms of Pokemon, yeah, like I said, yeah, it kind of fumbles the bag a little bit because, yeah, it's a defensive Ice-type Pokemon. It does take special hits kind of well. It's just that, you know, nowadays, though, it's very easy to, you know, exploit it, basically. It's very easy to just, you know, exploit its, bad defensive type now, so, yeah, you can obviously, you know, hit really hard on the physical side, this many weaknesses, and yeah, you might see yourself getting blown down very quickly on this side too. But yeah, against neutral targets though, it's not bad. There's a reason why this thing was used in its debut generation as a special wolf. But yeah, the thing about the Ice type though is that at least there's some kind of interesting things, obviously. That yeah, Regice is not a bad attacker to be honest, especially because yeah, it actually has a special attack stat, so that gives some interesting things about it. But anyway, as for moves, yeah, you could use Curse as well to try and boost your defense, but you don't get anything at the attack boost, which isn't the greatest, so yeah. You can try Lock on Zakan, but there is a better strategy I would recommend. Obviously, there's Ice Beam, that's something you definitely want in this. It does learn for a level of this one, which is pretty cool. Thunderbolt is really good though. This one gets Bolt Beam coverage, which is actually really good. It even gets Focus Blast too, so yeah, its target coverage is actually not bad. It's that again, it's slow, so yeah, you have to count that somehow. Luckily though, it gets Rock Polish somehow, so yeah, you know, it's an Icicle, so yeah. So yeah, you can actually use this thing as a kind of offensive tank, so yeah, that's probably the best way to use it, considering again, Ice is pretty good offensively, so yeah. Anyway, we caught it, so yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about any topics. Let's go on to the Mewtwo's now. It also gets Flash Cannon and Frost Breath as well. Its body is made of ice, from the Ice Age, and controls frigid air of minus 328 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright then. So yeah. And yeah, as well, Mewtwo to boost. Well, it also gets Gravity, it also gets Signal Beam. So yeah, those are some moves to think about. But yeah, that's yeah. Mostly everything I want to talk about with Regice. Again, it's a very strange Pokemon. Like I said, you don't really want to use it as a special, I feel like. Well, there are better ways to use it, so yeah. Anyway though, with that done, we have one more, but the problem is I didn't get a key for it. The thing about that is that you need the black key, because yeah, that's how they get it, because of the exclusive basically, and then you trade over. The problem is I can't actually trade over keys with the emulator because it requires an infrared connection. But we have workarounds, so yeah, I think I'm actually going to end the recording now. I'll tinker with that, and then yeah, we'll get back into it. So yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. When we are back, we are good to go. So Black 2 instead gets this one. So yeah, if you're wondering how I did it, yeah, remember the cheat I used to enable Charger? Yeah, it actually unlocks all the keys, so yeah, so I could do that. So yeah, we got the Iron Chamber now. It's kind of with the, you know, this is the Black 2 exclusive because it feels like kind of the lead of this trio, but hey. Alright. So yeah, we need to heal up John Tracy though, so let's do that. Because John Tracy is going to be useful for what's about to happen, obviously. Luckily though, I got a lot of old good toes, so yeah, we can use that. And we can use our French water. Okie dokie. So yeah, let's yeah, save the game. Let's give this another go. Yes, yeah, we got our final member of the trio to catch today, so yeah, let's do it. So, yeah, that's a machine. Let's give this a go. The Pokemon statue that exudes the power of Steel started moving. This is Registeel, level 65, Steel type, clear bodies for its ability with the moves. Exact same as Regice actually, Zap can, Lock on, Charging, and Amnesia, so yeah. So Registeel probably considered the best of the trio because again, that's maybe because of the type. Steel is an amazing type, and its defensive structure isn't too bad either. It does have, you know, 150 defense and special defense, so yeah, it's good on both sides, as you probably expect. It does count the cost of its offenses though, they're both 75, so again, it's really well balanced in that regard. The problem though is that, it doesn't actually hit as hard as the problem, and Steel isn't a very good type to hit things hard with. It only really has, you know, Iron Head to do that with, so yeah, that's why a lot of them use Seismic Toss in, competitive battles to do fixed damage instead. You'll find that a lot more reliable. You know, just doing some fixed damage instead. You can also use Toxic as well, so you know, will down your opponent too. That's something else you can do as well. So yeah, again, probably the best, but still, you know, kind of a niche Pokemon for like the Baldersay, for example. So yeah, we got a lot more interesting Steel type options, I feel like now. Ones that, you know, can exert some offensive pressure too. Registeel is just kind of a pure ball. Which again, that could still work, it's just that again, I feel like there could be better options. But hey, if you like Registeel, you don't mind using, you know, something a bit more stally or something like that, you could go for it. Anyway, we'll talk about the moves now. Again, it's pretty similar, as you probably expect. Like I said, it actually gets both Iron Head and Flash kind of at the same level, kind of showing that again, yeah. it's really well balanced. You also use Curse on it, which, yeah, that's also not a bad way of using it too. To try and boost up its, iron heads and stuff like that, so yeah, you could do that as well. And then, yeah, for TMs, obviously Toxic's amazing on it. You could get this thing Earthquake as well. You also give it Rock-type moves as well. It does get Rock Polish, gets Thunder Wave 2 for support as well. So yeah, it's got some good options there as well. And then yeah, for the Mewtwo moves, once again, you could consider, stuff like Super, which you can also remember, Ice Punch, Gravity. So yeah, again, a couple of interesting moves there, and yeah, that's the stats then. So yeah, let's go back to that topic now. Let's start shiny hunting. So yeah, again, if you didn't already know, I did do a bit of shiny hunting around Gen 6, Gen 7 time. There's many in Sun and Moon, but I think I did start doing a bit in Gen 6 because yeah, it was actually quite a bit easier in that game. And they did, lower the shiny odds, and also, yeah, the Masuda method is very good. You can make a shiny Pokemon that was also a good competitive battle, which, yeah, I thought was really good. So, yeah, I did that. There was some funny stories around this time, though. Like, yeah, X and Y, there was one route. I think it was above the second gym town. I can't remember the names off the top of my head. But, yeah, I found, like, 2 shinies basically back-to-back, which is very funny. So, yeah. I think it was shiny Sigilyph and then shiny Golett not long after, so yeah, that was a very memorable experience. Finding shiny Pokemon, I think I also found a shiny Heatmor too, in X and Y as well, and that was also really cool shiny. Again, just random shinies, find them like that, so yeah. But yeah, like I said, yeah, I would do a lot of Masuda method in Gen 6, I think in ORS as well. Like, I remember getting some pretty cool shinies doing that. Doing that alongside doing other things, because yeah, like I was kind of talking about before, Pokemon was really the only new game I was playing really, and I didn't really have that many familiars either at the time, so yeah, that's really all I really wanted to play, so yeah. So yeah, Gen 7 though was where things got really interesting though, with Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, I believe, because yeah, those games introduced the shiny hunting method that I would use the most, the SOS method. Where yeah, you get the Pokemon to keep pulling for help, and then yeah, the more it does, the better the Pokemon becomes, and also increases shiny odds. So yeah. And there we go. We got Registeel. I've finished the topic. I have some way to finish the topic, so yeah, you don't need to worry. Say the Iron Pokemon tempted by pressure underground over tens of thousands of years. Its body cannot be scratched. So yeah, let's get up here now. We are done with the clay tunnel and the underground ruins done. So yeah, that's awesome. I'll make sure of that when I go edit this, but yeah. So let's get out. So yeah, now I want to do some about my blocks. So yeah, while I do that, yeah, let's keep on with the topics. So, yeah, like I said, yeah, I would do a lot of SOS hunts. And again, I would try to get the Pokemon as good as possible too, but I did still do the Masuda method for Pokemon that you couldn't SOS hunt. Again, it's such a fast method that yeah, I was able to collect a bunch of shinies. So yeah, and we got a naive Regirock, that's kind of funny. So I'll put it with the other legendaries. We got a sassy Regice. And then we got a adamant Registeel. Interesting. Maybe it does want to be a curse sweeper then. And then yeah, we also got the other extra. So I'll put it here. And then yeah, we obviously got Vitra back. Let's do that. Now we'll heal up. So yeah. It's kinda like I said, yeah. Sun and Moon, yeah, like I said, yeah, I did a bunch of shiny hunting there. I think I was able to get a full box, and yeah, there was a lot of cool shinies to get in that game too. I think my favorite, because another method I also did was Superset, I think my favorite shiny was the shiny Blacephalon. Like, yeah, I think that was, like, yeah, for some reason, I want to say some reason, I think in Ultra Sun Moon, I really wanted to just shiny hunt the legendary Pokemon, so yeah, that's just kind of what I want to do. In fact, yeah, it's kind of similar to what my friend was doing in, like, BDSP, I think, so yeah. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite shiny, I think, because it looks so cool, so yeah. So I really wanted the Blacephalon in those colors, so yeah. Anyway, so we did the big scene, now time for the small court. And yeah, what I'll do is I'll finish talking about the topic and then we'll cut and then we'll end. That's what we'll do, so yeah. Alright. Interesting trainer, sir. Hey, I'll make sure my... Yeah, I need to move John Tracy back here. Okie dokie, so yeah, let's give this a go. So that's what I was talking about, so yeah, yeah, that's me, everything I have to say about that game. There would be some hunts I could have done though, like Knock on the Door for example. That was one I wasn't able to do because I think by the time I got to it, I didn't really... I think like I lost a bit of interest, so yeah. And then yeah, other than that, I wouldn't shiny hunt again because yeah, the thing was is that I think it was around the time we got the Switch. So then that was a new console to play with, and then 2019 Farm 3 Houses came out, and that was my main focus for a very, very long time. So yeah. So I didn't feel like shiny hunting in future Pokemon games, even though my brother still would on occasion. One of the playthroughs that comes to mind was the Let's Go, when we got that. I think he shiny hunted a lot of Pokemon that game, and he used most of them on his team too. And there was another funny story too, and the only time he used a shiny playthrough for the ball meter. A shiny Magmar. I got it in Cinnabar Mansion. I got a regular Magmar, and then I came back, saw that, and then added to the team. So yeah, that was awesome. And it's the only time I used a shiny in a playthrough, so yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. The other than that though, I don't really have many other stories, other than, you know, playing some Full Odds ones, like in this playthrough, for example, so yeah. 2 of them as well, so yeah. Well, in Black 2 playthrough, you get kind of what I'm talking about, so yeah. So that was interesting, so yeah, and shiny hunting is definitely something I like. But again, it definitely doesn't feel the same as it used to. Like yeah, in Legends ZA, for example, the DLC, you can basically guarantee a couple of shinies with the donuts, so yeah, again, it really doesn't feel the same. And then yeah, speaking of ZA2, I did find a random shiny, a shiny Aggron, which is pretty cool, so yeah, because I could Mega Evolve and I could have some fun with that, which I did, so yeah. So I think, yeah, that's, yeah, most everything. I guess there's one more thing I could talk about in regards to this. You also got this Ace Trainer to fight, so that'll be a fun battle. Again, the Full Odds hunts, I guess you could say as well. Again, I definitely respect a lot of people who do that. You know, just, you know, go all out. Like, make the shiny as rare as possible. And also, you know, Safari as well, something my friend has also talked to me about a lot, so yeah. So yeah, again, I definitely respect that too. It's just that, yeah, again, when I was playing, you know, Sun and Moon, I really wanted the shinies, just the thing. I didn't really think about, you know, what a Full Odds hunt was all about. It's about the journey, is the thing about it. So yeah, it's about the journey you make to get to the shiny or shinies as well. So yeah, I didn't really realize it back then. And yeah, it's kind of cool to think about now, to be honest. So yeah. So again, that's why people limit themselves to, you know, only Full Odds, even only one game at a time, because you can't have multiple games at a time, and also doing it in games without the booster dots. And also, you're not even having no shiny charm as well, so yeah. So yeah, stuff like that, basically, so yeah. So we have a Mega Horn here. I can take that out. Again, like I said, yeah, that was never for me, but I respect it. Is the thing, so yeah, again, I always use method hunts. That's just kind of the person I was back then, so yeah. Like I said, yeah, one of the shinies, and yeah, there was definitely some good stories too. Skydrop, that move. One fun story was, yeah, pretty fun Skydrop, and there we go. That was, so yeah. One fun story is, my brother was doing a Sun and Moon playthrough. He wanted to use all his favorite Pokemon. So then what I did was I shiny hunted his favorite Pokemon, Sceptile, with yeah, that's a beef up right there. I shiny hunted a Trico by Masuda Methering it, and then he used that in the playthrough. That was a really nice moment. So yeah, that was definitely one of the shiny hunts I was most proud of, so yeah. So again, like I said, yeah, I did a lot in Sun and Moon, that's a dang sure, so yeah. Because again, yeah, like I said, yeah, I don't really have many other games to play, and yeah, shiny hunting was something I decided to, partake in, so yeah. But like I said, after that, I just kind of lost interest again. Like, I kind of talked about this before, but yeah, Sword and Shield, yeah, I didn't really want to play it over 3 houses. I'll go into more detail about this later. I'm gonna, again, like I said, I think the plan is I'm gonna try and drag up as much memories as I can. Once again, here's again, I don't know if I want to play Sword and Shield now, so yeah. We'll, experience it again, I guess you could say. Again, we'll see about that. But I do want to talk about it at least, because I thought it'd be a very interesting topic, because, yeah. It's interesting to think about, because, again, it relates to a game I'm actually playing right now, Three Houses of Mad Things, so, yeah. But, yeah, I think that's mainly everything I want to talk about with the shiny hunting, so, yeah. Like I said, I guess we'll beat this guy, and then I'll cut, and then we'll defeat the rest, and then, yeah, we'll call it a good part then, so, yeah. So I'll beat this Wigglytuff, and, yeah, like I said, yeah, that'll be, like I said, a very good part. So we got all 3 of the golems as well, so yeah, we can obviously have some of that later. I actually can't remember how, the 4th one works, I should say. I can't remember if you need all of them, or in the party, or just all of them caught. So I guess we'll find out later. And like I said though, yeah, we got some level ups there, I'll Antonio Ronan, and yeah, we'll probably get a few more as well, so yeah. Alright. So without further ado, yeah, let's clean up the rest of these trainers, and then yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, only Serena gained a level, it's not a level 71. And yeah, that'll be it for this part. So we defeated, I didn't say defeated, we caught the 3 legendary golems, that's pretty cool. And yeah, that means that yeah, we'll be able to do something fun in Twist Smile next time we go there, so yeah. Anyway though, it's been a while since we've been to the silver screen though, so I think next time we're going to be doing our next movie. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys again for that.